Allison, how are we doing this morning?
So I'm really battling myself right now with a regretful decision, a big decision that my husband and I have made.
Uh-oh.
He retired from the military a year ago, and we had planned on always settling back home near my family. I'm the only child. I'm very close with my mom. She's my best friend. And he had a job lined up and everything. Well, he ended up getting a better job offer in a state we used to live in. We were stationed there before. And we jumped the gun and decided financially we're going to do it. And we moved to this other state. That job fell through. He did not get it. And now he's doing the job now. He's a police officer. Mm-hmm. He's doing the job now that he had lined up back home near my family in Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like the past year, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I just can't move beyond this. Mm-hmm. And it's been hard.
Yeah. So does he not want to move anymore? Is he loving this new police department he works for?
Yeah, he does. And I'm very grateful for this department. You know, with everything going on, we are very lucky to be where we are right now.
Yeah.
The community shows nothing but love towards them. He is flourishing, and I love watching that for him. It's been his dream job.
Yeah.
But we do have 3 children, and I am the only one, not his fault, but I'm the one that has to take our kids to their games and their school events. And, you know, I don't have support with my family. It's just mom still after, you know, a whole military career. And I struggle with it every time.
So have you, not in a moment of frustration, not in a moment of rage or anger or exhaustion, have you sat down and talked to him about it?
I have, and he would move in a heartbeat.
Okay. So why don't you move?
I think it's my kids. I always said I wanted to be settled when my oldest started middle school.
Okay.
He started middle school the year we moved here. So he's now in 7th grade. We've got a 5th grader, and we've got a 2nd grader. And I just want stability for them. I am tired of moving.
I know, but listen, you're not stable. A mom who lives a life of regret and who lives a life of constant frustration, I'm telling you, those kids are absorbing that. And you've heard me say this, and I'm going to say it 1,000 more times before Dave Ramsey fires me someday. Those kids feel that on you, and they backfill that gap between you and them with, it must be their fault. And they will spend every waking moment trying to make sure that the relationship with mommy's okay. And they're not going to do it on purpose, and you're not doing it on purpose. But if you've got a situation where your husband is ready to pack up and go, you were blessed in this season. You had, it's been a gnarly year for police officers, good and bad. And he had a supportive group that trained him and taught him and rallied around him and a community that supported him. What a gift. And you've got 3 healthy kids bebopping along. You're exhausted from moving. I've got all that. But they need a settled mom. They need a settled mom. And they need a mom that feels good. Here's the thing. You need to make sure that your picture of what Virginia is going to look like is real and it's not a fantasy.
Well, that's the problem.
That when you get there, right, that everyone's just going to run. It's going to be like the old days, and they're going to dote on you and be there to pick up your kids and go to the games with you. It may not happen like that. And it may be that you're avoiding creating friendships wherever you are. And it's hard for a military spouse, right? You've lived a nomad's life. That's really tough. But at some point, when you decide I'm going to be settled, you're going to have to plug in and make new friends, make new community, be vulnerable with people that you don't know, and continue to lean into that. And if your family does that for you in Virginia, awesome. I just talked to so many people who it's just going to be that way once they can just get wherever they are going to go. And the worst part about moving is that you're going to go with you.
Right.
And if you're a person who's not settled, who hasn't been settled, who's got regret in her heart because her husband's moved her around, the U.S. government's moved her around, that's not just going to go away when you land in Virginia.
No, and I mean, my husband says he'll move, but he does not like Virginia.
Right.
So I think that's part of my holdback too. He loves it here.
Great, great, but he's really going to love a wife who doesn't feel like a martyr. And he's really going to love a connected family. And at some point, somebody's got to give. And if you are living less than, if you are living a life of regret, of just, I tell you what, man, I can want to live in a lot of places, but the place I want to live is where my wife feels like her best self.
Right.
Now, your best self in many ways is a choice. You've got to decide to be fully you wherever you are. Admittedly, that could be easier with family and connection and all those things.
Right.
So if you've got a guy that's willing to go and you want to make one more last move, make one more last move. You deserve that. He deserves that. Your kids deserve that. But it's not going to solve everything. And when you get there, you're going to have to decide, I am plugging in and I'm growing roots. And I'm going to have to do the work to not be a bitter wife, not be a frustrated person. What's past is past. We did move our kids around a lot. I've moved around a lot. I lost 10 years or however many years of relationships, of connections, of whatever, partridge in a pear tree. We're moving forward. So I'm going to invite people to come to games with us. I'm going to invite people to have meals over at our house, especially when my husband's out working the late shift. I'm going to invite family members over. I'm going to go see a counselor so I can learn new skills on how to plant deep roots. I'm going to be plugged in because it may be, Allison, that a move's going to really be great for you. It was for my family. It was really important. It was good. And when we got here, we still had to realize that we came with us. And we still had a ton of work to do, my wife and I, on reconnecting and relearning how to be married again. And really that's happened every time we've moved to new cities. Good for your husband for loving where he's at, but being willing to pack up and move. Good for him. I say y'all start looking at real estate in Virginia, and he needs to get his application in ASAP, and y'all need to go for it. When you decide to move, when you finally move and land there, probably 6 months, right? I want you to call me back and let me know how you're doing. Call me and let me know how your family's doing. Call me and let me know how your marriage is doing. But I want you to go. Let yourself off the hook. Don't be the martyr. Just go. Awesome. Good for you. I'm excited for you.